Hey folks, Jake and I are here with the thread response for Dude1973's 5 non-metal albums for the heavy metal fan. Let's get started. First up, the Brecker Brothers. This is heavy metal bebop. Now honestly, there's not much metal on this album, but it's in the title, and that means street cred as you walk out the door with it. Great cover though, and they really bring the funk on this album. I love the Brecker Brothers. Of course, let's see, that would be, this was on Arista, and it's a 1978 recording. It's Michael and Randy Brecker. Michael was a saxophone player. Unfortunately, let me show you the back. Unfortunately, Michael passed from cancer. Love that cover. Great stuff. All right, so let's keep moving. We'll stay in the jazz vein because we have Miles Davis, Live Evil. How much more heavy metal can you get than an album called Live Evil? It doesn't get much more heavy metal than that. And this is from Miles' early 70s experimental period. So it's some pretty far out stuff. It's not what you would think of really conventionally when you think of jazz. It's more free jazz and pretty avant-garde stuff. So if you want to take a walk on the wild side, then you go with some early 70s Miles Davis. So let's keep going in that same vein. Miles Davis, Dark Magus. I like this album. This is some good stuff, and it's dark. How much more heavy metal can you get than dark? You got dark and evil. That's pretty metal, isn't it? All right. Next up, this one I really like a lot. Ted Kirkpatrick, In the Shadow of the Masters. This CD is a project from the thrash metal master Ted Kirkpatrick. He's the drummer and driving force behind Tourniquet, the Christian metal band, and this is some great stuff. I know some people that are more purist when it comes to classical music, and some of them weren't too keen on it, but I really enjoy this album. I listen to it quite often. Yeah. Of course, I am a huge Tourniquet fan and love Ted's drumming. So, and he is a huge classical music fan, which is why he did this project. And finally, It Just Ain't Over Until the Fat Lady Sings. And we have some heavy classics. Let me read you a little of the intro on the back of this. Where do many heavy metal... let's try English this morning. Where do many heavy metal bands get their inspiration? Listen to the introduction of Metallica's Am I Evil, and you'll recognize Mars, the Bringer of Wars, from Holst, the Planets suite. You'll also recognize passages from intros and pieces rearranged, interpreted, borrowed by the likes of Deep Purple and Rainbow, not to mention soundtracks from your favorite films and TV commercials. With Heavy Classics, EMI Classics has compiled the original heavy metal thunder. 15 headbanging compositions including the 1812 Overture, Romeo and Juliet, and naturally Wagner's Valkyrie. 66 minutes of the loudest music ever written. There's enough high-volume histrionics on heavy classics to keep the most demanding fan of thunderous noise satisfied. This is probably the sort of stuff that had 19th century headbangers lined up around the block for the best seats. So there you have it, heavy classics. There's a good intro into classical music for the metalhead. And those are my 5. And what? Am I going to set a record for one of my shortest videos ever? I guess so. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, and turn it up to 11.